Here we are at Drunken Charlie Lake, which is a cool spot. Just saw a fish jump there. Obviously, there are fish in here. Probably stocked trout from when this was logging camp back in the day. The Drunken Charlie name came from a guy who had a barge out here who sold wares to the loggers out here, and apparently he liked to drink, and he got drunk and his barge caught on fire and sank. And here apparently is the old tale there, the old story. But this is one of the larger lakes in the Marckworth, like these little pothole type lakes, which are really cool. A lot of them are stocked, have been stocked for a long time with fish. This is the largest though, but it gave me an opportunity to show you guys kind of some wetland properties of soils, and also just a really cool spot. You can see there's skunk cabbage over there hanging out. The edge that I'm on here, if I hop up and down on, it bounces. So if you can imagine, in fact, you can see the ripples in the water from me bouncing here, going out into the water there. So very spongy. There's probably a lot of just organic matter here in this soil. And so I brought out the soil core here because this thing can be kind of useful, especially in wetland soils. But in a lot of the glacial soils that we've been looking at, you know, it's gonna hit a rock and you're not gonna find much at all. And I brought the sharpshooter out here too to see what we find, but I'm gonna stick it in close to the water's edge here and see what we come up with. This area is a popular spot for people to come and fish and hang out and camp, even though technically you're not allowed to on the DNR property here. I pushed it down about as far as I can, kind of move it back and forth to hopefully break it off so it doesn't come out. I can hear some suction going on there, and again, not the best tool in the world here. It's tapered so that it doesn't compact the soil, and you're supposed to be able to get the sample out fairly easily, but you can definitely see here that it doesn't look very gritty. I can tell you it's very squishy. It looks, you know, squishy. It's got a lot of water in it. Down at the bottom of the hole here, it looks like I hit a log, probably one of these roots from one of these trees here, or a tree that was cut when this was logged back in the early 1900s. And then we go into this just really goopy, humic material, and then we get into that you can't really distinguish what that is, but we get into here, you can start to see roots, you can start to see individual needles and pieces of organic matter that you can kind of tell what it is. Some of it, but it's mixed in with a bunch of stuff that you can't. And then closer to the top has a little bit of, no, it's just more of that material. It's a little bit less decomposed, I would say. You know, we have these wood chips in here. It's kind of hard to tell. This isn't a very, I would say, natural area per se, because or historic area, because you can see people have had fires here and so forth. So let's walk back into the woods here. There's a spot over here where it's a little bit of a wetland kind of puddle. Back in here and see. So I'm walking along here. These soils are very spongy. Well, let's see what we can find over in here, maybe. Let's see. So I'm having trouble breaking through the roots even here because there's just a mat of roots and cedar here. Again, not that useful of a tool. Let's try and get maybe in here. Let's see what we can find. Oh, okay, well, that went all the way in. You can hear the water, and as I pull it out, you can see the water in the sample. If we start down below, it's all organic material. There's not, I mean, I have my glove on, but I can tell you right now I'm not feeling any grittiness at all. And so, you know, there's probably a lot more of that to go until you get to, you know, parent material or the bedrock, which is eventually there's something here that is helping hold this water here that's impermeable. We just don't know exactly how deep it is, but all this black kind of wet material here is all organic matter. Will not make a ribbon. In fact, you know, if you rub it between your fingers, it ends up dissolving, and it's not gritty at all. So I wanted to show you a little bit of some wetland soils here in this little cool spot in the Marckworth. We'll look at some more wetland soils soon as well and get into some of that glaying and what that looks like, and some of that root channels and the redox reactions from that.